The Golden Human Codex III, Coherent Creation. Welcome. Welcome, Golden Human, to Episode 4, Prosperity as Regulated Exchange. Prosperity as a nervous system event rather than a moral evaluation. Money, resources, opportunity, and support are forms of exchange. Exchange is relational, and all relational experiences are filtered through the body before they are interpreted by the mind. This episode explores prosperity not as ambition, not as hustle, not as identity, but as regulated circulation between coherent systems. When internal safety stabilizes, giving and receiving become neutral, precise, and even quietly sublime. Wealth is no longer charged with shame, pride, fear, or urgency. It becomes structured movement, energy transferring without distortion. The Golden Human understands that regulated exchange creates sustainable opulence, not excess, not display, but steady, Elysian flow rooted in internal serene alignment. Prosperity reflects internal coherence. When the nervous system is dysregulated, money becomes symbolic, proof of worth, protection from fear, or compensation for depletion. When the system is regulated, money becomes functional. Exchange becomes clean. Bliss becomes sustainable because it is not dependent on outcome spikes. Opulence becomes measurable as stability rather than accumulation. The body remains calm whether giving or receiving. Prosperity is not chased, it circulates through regulated presence.
The rhythm of the body never lies. Every feeling is a message from inside.
Core teachings. Prosperity is a regulation pattern. Financial behavior mirrors autonomic state. When the body feels unsafe, spending may become impulsive, withholding may become rigid, and receiving may trigger discomfort. These are not character flaws, they are regulation strategies. When coherence stabilizes, financial decisions become deliberate and proportionate. The nervous system no longer confuses uncertainty with danger. Exchange begins to feel structured rather than charged. Scarcity is a stored survival memory. Scarcity often originates as an embodied memory, not a current fact. The body remembers unpredictability and anticipates loss even in stable conditions. This anticipation shapes perception and behavior. Regulation interprets this loop. When breath deepens and muscle tension softens, the brain recalibrates its threat assessment. Prosperity becomes possible because the body is no longer bracing. Receiving requires capacity. Many individuals can give calmly but cannot receive without contraction. This contraction reveals a limit in capacity for support. Receiving activates visibility, vulnerability, and perceived obligation. A regulated system expands its tolerance for support. The abdomen remains soft. The jaw unclenches. Receiving becomes delicious, not because it's indulgent, but because it is integrated. Clean exchange feels neutral. Healthy prosperity does not produce dramatic highs or lows. It feels almost uneventful. There is no rush of superiority and no crash of shame. This neutrality is a marker of coherence. When exchange feels serene and precise, the system is operating without identity distortion. Opulence expresses as frictionless flow. Overextension is a dysregulation signal. Overgiving often masquerades as generosity. In reality, it can be an attempt to secure belonging or avoid rejection. The body sacrifices coherence in order to maintain connection. The Golden Human monitors internal steadiness first. If the shoulders tighten or breath shortens, contribution pauses. Sustainable prosperity protects regulation before output. Holding wealth without contraction is a skill. Accumulating resources can activate fear or loss. The nervous system may interpret possession as vulnerability. This produces rigidity or hyper control. Regulated holding feels grounded. There is space around what is owned. Security is internal rather than external. Prosperity becomes stable rather than fragile. Financial clarity requires somatic clarity. Decision making improves when the body is calm. Cognitive precision increases as physiological stress decreases. Coherence sharpens perception. Before major financial decisions, regulation must precede analysis. A lengthened exhale improves accuracy. Slowness increases precision. The result is exalted clarity without urgency. Circulation is a natural state of resources. Stagnation creates distortion. Hoarding creates pressure. Avoidance creates confusion. Flow restores balance. Prosperity is healthiest when it moves through contribution, compensation, investment, and generosity. The Golden Human participates in circulation without gripping. In that movement, felicity emerges as a steady undercurrent rather than a spike.
Storm or sunshine is all the same road. Energy moving through a hue and cold.
Golden Human frame. The Golden Human allows resources to move without identity charge. Money does not define worth. Giving does not earn love. Receiving does not require apology. Prosperity becomes regulated exchange between coherent individuals. This is subtly 5D in practice. Internal stability, reorganizing external economics. Leadership, creativity, and contribution align naturally when exchange is clean. Opulence becomes functional because it is embodied. Ritual. Today, intentionally recalibrate your relationship to exchange. Burn white sage to clear environmental residue. Watch the smoke rise and notice your breath without altering it. Sit upright and place one hand over the abdomen and one over the heart. Speak softly. Exchange can be serene. Visualize money as neutral current, moving in and out without distortion. Complete one small financial action today while maintaining slow breathing and relaxed shoulders. This ritual is regulatory. Sage clears the space. Breath clears the system. Awareness clears distortion. Today's affirmation: I allow clean, serene exchange. Unclench the abdomen and lengthen the exhale whenever you give or receive. Integration occurs through repetition in calm states. Notice what arises in your body when you consider prosperity. Is there tightening, anticipation, hesitation, expansion? Prosperity becomes sustainable when the nervous system no longer interprets exchange as threat. When safety is internal, money loses its symbolic charge and becomes functional movement. This is where bliss becomes steady rather than volatile, where opulence feels grounded rather than performative. A regulated system does not chase wealth. It participates in circulation with precision. The result is not dramatic transformation, but stable, numinous alignment that reorganizes life quietly over time. Prosperity at its most coherent feels almost ordinary, calm, measured, clean, and that quiet neutrality is what makes it powerful. If this episode softened your experience of giving or receiving, like, comment, save, and share so others ready for the regulated prosperity may experience this Elysian steadiness. And in episode 5, Leadership Without Performance, we explore how regulated presence organizes groups without force, and how influence becomes serene rather than strategic. Prosperity does not require urgency to be exalted. Walk as the golden human whose exchange is balanced, blissful, and precise, and allow regulated opulence to circulate through your world quietly, steadily, and true.